Part 22. Flash marriage of the era. Married to a crazy husband who amazes everyone. Author, Yuan. Chapter 211. Ying Cixi led him forward while humming a song. After Qin Yanci figured out the rules, he finally stopped being in a hurry. Isn't this what you learned? Ying Cixi praised him for being smart. Qin Yanci raised his lips and said, "You taught me well." Ying Cixi raised her eyebrows proudly. Are we still going to watch a movie? Qin Yanci, I won't watch it. Who would watch a movie when his wife is in his arms? I must watch the singer sing. Okay. The two stayed at home all afternoon and set out for the city when it got dark. At the same time, Li Yue was also sent to the hospital. There happened to be a doctor on duty at the gynecology department, and with Li Junlu taking care of her in private, the other party quickly arranged for Li Yue to be examined and put on the operating table. When getting off the operating table, Li Yue's face turned pale in pain. Song Hanmi I was angry and said, "Tell me, is it worth it for Feng Shuangzi? I asked you to inform him, but you didn't inform him. If he knew, he would definitely come and accompany me." Li Yue thought she had a handle on Feng Shuangzi and asked him to go east, but he would never go west. Just like in his previous life, he obeyed Ying Cixi. On the way to the inpatient department, a cold voice came, "Li Junlu." Several people followed the sound. Li Yue could see the other person's face clearly through the dim street lights. Skin that is so white that it shines, and clear eyebrows. She immediately thought of Ying Cixi. Is this Ying Cixi's biological father? It is indeed very similar. But different. He is not feminine at all, his figure is like that of a young man, and his face does not look old. Ying Cixi didn't recognize any father in her previous life, so why did a father appear in this life? Suddenly, she remembered something. Probably when Ying Cixi was in her 40s, Feng Shuangzi bought a large piece of land in the east of the city and built an ancestral hall. She helped Ying Cixi move her mother's grave in the countryside to Yanjing and put the memorial tablet into the ancestral hall. The news media loved to take secret photos of the rich's private affairs. The matter of moving the grave was exposed. She was holding two wooden boxes in her hands. After seeing it, he thought one of them belonged to his father, so he made a special trip to the cemetery to check it out. The tombs of my parents are in good condition. She once thought that Ying Cixi had made an empty box to fulfill the country woman's wish. Now it seems that what is in that box may be the person in front of me. We met again, Shen Yushan said. Li Junlu clenched his fists. I will take the blame for what you did, and I will never let it go. Shen Yushan smiled. What blame did you bear? Let's settle the matter of your kidnapping of my daughter slowly. Who abducted her? That's my nominal daughter. Daughter in name? Do you have a marriage certificate with Xian? If you have a marriage certificate with Xian, it would be bigamy, and you would be guilty of a big crime. Shen Yushan poked at Li Junlu's destiny. Li Junlu was immediately speechless. What kind of marriage is it without a marriage certificate? At most, I'm engaged to you. You have nothing to lose, but you use my daughter to gain benefits. Shameless rat. Shen Yushan glanced at a few people with cold eyes and left. Li Junlu's chest heaved violently, and he was so angry that he stepped forward to hit him, but he grabbed his wrist and pushed him aside. Your strength is nothing in front of me. Li Junlu. Shen Yushan was about to go home, so he walked to the door of the family courtyard. Looking at the room from a distance, the room was dark. Maybe he had rested. He doesn't expect her to recognize him now. I am satisfied knowing that she is living a good life. When he was about to leave, he heard Ying Cixi's voice in the distance. Flash marriage of the era. Married to a crazy husband who amazes everyone. Author, Yuan. Chapter 212. I am also a singer. I thought it was a very nice song, but it turned out to be not as nice as my grandma's song. I don't want to say that, our grandma's song. Yang Sisi interrupted, the sound of Mimi. That's good to know. What are your plans for tomorrow? Make clothes for grandma. The next day, Yang Sisi got up early and went to the vegetable market to buy meat. When she returned and passed the mailbox downstairs to pick up her newspaper, she found a letter inside. There was nothing written on the envelope. Open it and take a look. "Sisi, I am your father, I can see my words as my face. If you don't want to recognize me, I won't force you. If you have any difficulties in the future, you must come to me. I hope I can help you. I won't ask you for help." Yang Sisi tore up the letter and threw it into the garbage room. "Go home as if nothing happened. I put down the newspaper and meat to make breakfast. After eating, I continued to make clothes. After finishing, I shook my head and knocked on the door opposite. The person who opened the door was an old lady who knew Yang Sisi. She smiled kindly and said, "I'm looking for your Aunt Sunday. She didn't come back at noon today." "Looking for you?" Yang Sisi explained the purpose of her visit. "I made a coat for my grandma back home. Her body shape is similar to yours. I want you to help me try it. If it's too big, I can change it." "Okay," the old lady agreed readily. After Yang Sisi entered the house, he put on the clothes that Yang Sisi had brought. "Girl, how are you? The shoulders seem a bit broad and the sleeves are a bit long. I'll tighten them up, thank you." "You're welcome." The old lady took off her clothes and gave them back to Yang Sisi, and sent her out. Yang Sisi revised it again and felt it was almost done, so she washed it and hung it up to dry. Go to the guest room to read some books with Chin Yancy, preparing to go back to the courtyard. Her mother-in-law gave her several pairs of clothes, and rarely asked her to go back to the courtyard to keep an eye on people. She agreed but didn't act, which seemed to be too much. "ACI, I'm going out." "Where to go? Is it far?" "I want to go out later and I want to get out of the car." "It's not far, you can use it." Yang Sisi accommodated him and planned to walk back to the courtyard. She bought some fruit and brought it to her door. Since the other 3 children are in school, the 3 aunts at home are raising 1 child. When Yang Sisi entered the yard, the 3 of them were chatting, and the child was placed on a small bed nearby, covered with a curtain to bask in the sun. "Sisi is back." "Well, hello, 3 aunties." "Hello." Yang Sisi stepped forward and opened the curtain. The child was sleeping soundly. "Is the child making trouble?" "I was just making trouble for a while, so I took medicine and fell asleep." "Take medicine?" "Yes, I used to drink breast milk, but now I take milk powder. I may not be used to it. I cry all the time. I must have been frightened at night and had a slight fever. Yesterday, your mother and I took me to the doctor and prescribed medicine for 3 days," the aunt explained. The aunt said again, "Is your sister-in-law coming back?" "The child is young and is pitiful after being separated from his mother." "Sisi, I know this. You have been wronged. For the sake of the child, please ask your father for mercy." Yang Sisi is a little soft-hearted. It is indeed pitiful to have no mother. She is an example. I still can't be soft-hearted. My father-in-law and mother-in-law did not order the eldest brother and sister-in-law to divorce, which shows that they have given them leeway. As long as Lu Yuechun is willing to examine himself, won't his parents-in-law accept him? These people took care of Lu Yuechun's children and had long-term contact with him. I guess I am also on Lu Yuechun's side, so I will naturally speak for him. Almost got fooled. She said, "I have only been married for a short time. There is no place for me to speak in the family. You have been in this family for many years, right? Your words must have more effect than mine. Your Majesty, please vote." You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Flash marriage of the era. Married to a crazy husband who amazes everyone. Author, Yuan. Chapter 213. We are just workers, how can we compare with you? Who in the family dares not to listen to him when he speaks at a banquet? In order to improve Qin Yanxi's family status, the aunt flattered Ying Sisi. Ying Sisi did not accept this trick. Auntie said that a CI was like an unreasonable scoundrel. She mentioned Lu Yuechun's behavior again. What my sister-in-law did will not be tolerated by anyone else. Forgive. The fact that her parents did not completely draw a clear line with her was a loss of face for the children. If she really wants to come back, she should review her behavior with us instead of asking you to be a lobbyist. The aunts looked at each other. Ying Sisi turned around and went back to the wing. "Sisi, that's not what we meant." The aunt who spoke, whose surname was Hao, was worried that Ying Sisi would talk nonsense in front of Qin Yanjun, so she quickly explained. Not the best. Ying Sisi closed the door and refused to continue communicating. The aunties didn't dare to chat in groups, they were each busy with their own affairs. Ying Sisi took advantage of the nice weather to take out the bedding on the bed to dry it, and then turned into the kitchen. There are not many vegetables left, and there is no meat. She estimated how long it would take to work in the vegetable market, carrying the vegetable basket back and forth twice to replenish the ingredients. Aunt Gao had something to say again. "Sisi, the weather has been warm recently. If you buy so much meat, it will spoil if you don't eat it in time. Wouldn't it be enough to just make wontons and eat them? There are so many people, and if we give 10 to each person, we have to pack hundreds of them, right? How much money does it cost? What a waste of time." The aunt was extremely reluctant. It takes half a day just to clean such a big yard. It's rare to have free time. During the rest, I have to chop the meat, mix the stuffing, knead the dough, and make the dough. I'll have to take care of the children after school, so I can't spare my energy. Have no time to spare all day long. Isn't this treating others harshly? They are helpers, not mothers. I'll do it myself." Ying Sisi felt that what the other party said made sense, so she didn't force herself. She planned to call her father-in-law and call Qin Yanxi after get off work to come to the courtyard to eat wontons together. But she didn't know how to use the phone, so she asked her aunt, who said they could only answer calls, not make calls. "Sisi, you'd better figure it out yourself." "Well, okay." Ying Sisi went out to find someone to inquire about. As soon as she leaves, the discussion about her began. The little girl knows that she just got married, but she doesn't know how much she weighs, and she still wants to boss us around. She also blames others for playing tricks on her. Look at the pants she is wearing, the upper part is almost sticking to her legs. Whether it is hidden or not, isn't this deliberately causing people to commit crimes? That is, relying on some beauty to attract Yanci to her. When you get older in a few years, who will care about her? She is the boss's daughter-in-law after all. It's not good for you to say so. Let's talk about the matter, and I can say a few words in front of her mother-in-law. Ying Sisi didn't go far, and she didn't intend to argue, but the other person's words became more and more excessive. She turned around and interrupted, "Aunt Gao, you are really amazing. I just don't know if my mother-in-law will let you go after listening to your words. ACI and I are divorcing." She left. Aunt Gao was in a panic. Didn't she go out? She chased Ying Sisi to explain. "Sisi, I was speechless for a moment, please forgive me." Ying Sisi smiled mockingly and became speechless. Whose family is aphasic like that? Wait, she must be picking up the woman, and she looks forward and walks forward. Aunt Gao got no response and started to slap herself. My mouth should not say what I should say, and I shouldn't say nonsense. Flash marriage of the era. Married to a crazy husband who amazes everyone. Author, Yuan. Chapter 214. It was a coincidence that my neighbor Aunt Jian caught me in this situation, Hey, what's going on? Aunt Gao's face was burning, and she felt ashamed for a while. She lowered her head and said nothing. Ying Sisi glanced out of the corner of her eye and said, "Who knows, maybe he's going crazy." I heard the word neurosis. Aunt Jian was also a little embarrassed. She had told Sisi earlier that she was jealous, violent, and mentally ill. Now every time I think about it, I want to slap myself in the mouth. Who has a brain problem and can get into university? It is still the top Yenching University. She changed the subject. Have you received the acceptance letter from Yancy? Ying Sisi, not yet. When the time comes, you will invite me to the wedding banquet, but don't miss me, Aunt Jian said with a flattering smile. Okay, Ying Sisi agreed, and then said, Auntie, do you know how to make a phone call? I'm going to call my father-in-law's office. Your Aunt Gao doesn't know how to do it. Aunt Jian glanced at Aunt Gao and her face turned red. Well, she said she can only answer, Ying Sisi said. Aunt Jian couldn't help but take a second look at Aunt Gao. She informed Ying Sisi in detail about the dialing steps. Ying Sisi only found it troublesome after hearing this. It was only 10 minutes away and the operator needed to transfer the call to her father-in-law. It's better to prepare a meal to pick up a CI. Thank you. You're welcome. After Ying Sisi and Aunt Jian separated, they returned to the kitchen to make noodles and chop meat fillings. Several aunties passed by the door from time to time. Ying Sisi pretended not to see it, worked hard for nearly an hour, finished the preparations, sat down and started making wontons. Aunt Gao felt guilty, and finally couldn't resist her inner uneasiness, so she stepped forward to help. "Sisi, let me do it with you, hurry up. Didn't you say you wanted to pick up the child? Don't worry, we can do it later." Aunt Gao took care of herself and took the bread bag. The next second, Ying Sisi held down her hand. "Aunt Gao, you'd better hurry up and pick up the child. If you're late, the child will run away and be lost. You can't afford it." She didn't help when she was getting ready, but waited for the child to hurry up. "I go to her place after school to feel present. If she leaves the other party, she will meet her mother-in-law later after get off work. Ask the child." Aunt Gao was saying that she asked her to make wontons, and she was so busy that she forgot about it. "Mother-in-law, can't you blame yourself?" Aunt Gao retracted her hand and said, "Hey." After Aunt Gao left, the new Aunt Jing came in. "Sisi, do you need help? I just put the fourth child to sleep, so I have some free time now." In response to Sisi's gaze, Aunt Jin, although she participated in the discussion about her, never said anything bad about her, so she was less defensive about her than the other two. "Okay, you can boil the water." As Aunt Jin added water to the earthen stove, she said, "The wontons you make are different from ours. They look like gold ingots and have a lot of fillings. Isn't it bad to have too much stuffing?" "Okay," Aunt Jin added, "I didn't want to join them at first, but I just came here and I can't be unsocial." Ying Sisi didn't talk to her. Aunt Jin stopped talking and continued to do the work at hand. After the water boils, Mother of Qin entered the room and smiled when she saw Ying Sisi. "Sisi is here, the wontons you made? So many, how many dollars of meat are they, right? Do you have any meat tickets?" "High-priced meat, no tickets required. I bought a bit too much. I originally planned to marinate it, but I was worried that you wouldn't be used to marinated meat, so I wrapped it into wontons." Mother of Qin is not afraid of spending money, but is afraid of wasting money. Could it be that she and the Shen family know each other? Don't care about this. Flash marriage of the era. Married to a crazy husband who amazes everyone. Author, Yuan. Chapter 215. She sent away Auntie Jin and said privately, "Sisi, your father told me that you are a girl from the Shen family, but you don't intend to recognize the Shen family. If you ask me, it's better to recognize the Shen family. with the Shen family, for if you support me, it will be of great benefit to Yanxi's future if you can walk sideways. Ying Sisi didn't shy away from it. Can't I support myself? Or do you not believe that a CI is capable of fighting on his own? Or maybe, what you said was what Dad meant. Qin's mother immediately clarified, it's not what your father meant, I thought about it myself. A CI is in a bad mood because he is worried that he will offend others in his future work. There is a strong backing behind him, so people dare not touch him. A CI has already been admitted to university based on his ability, but you don't have any confidence in him. Ying Sisi didn't want to chat with her mother-in-law, and said she was going to pick up Qin Yanxi. Hey, take it. Ying Sisi just went out and met Qin Yanjun. Behind his bicycle was a small white bicycle with no horizontal bar in the middle. "Si, you've come just in time, I'll give you a bicycle as a gift." Ying Sisi was very surprised. Why did you think of giving me a bicycle? Qin Yanjun said with a smile on his face, as a reward for your contribution to the family, I booked this car for you from outside early in the morning. Ying Sisi wondered, what contribution has she made to the family? She had never seen this car before. It was probably very expensive. Could it be a gift from the Shen family? When she thought of the person named Shen, she didn't want to accept it. If she asked directly, if it was really a gift from her father-in-law, it would inevitably hurt her father-in-law. She pursed her lips and said, "Thank you, Dad." "You're welcome, give it a try." Qin Yanjun untied the rope tied to the bicycle and moved it to the ground. Ying Sisi pushed it out for a test ride. It is small, light, and very easy to control. She went home in a circle. I was immediately surrounded by everyone. Qin's mother caught the eye and said, "My bicycle is old. If you don't replace it for me, why don't you give me a car as good as Sisi? Why don't you give me one?" Qin Yanjun thought to himself, this is a gift from his own father, why are you following along to join in the fun? Waiting for my salary. How many times have I said this to you, waiting for your salary? I will be unlucky to marry you. Qin's mother was angry and kicked her son. Mom, if you like it, you can take it and ride it. We have one at home, which is enough. Ying Sisi didn't want to see her parents-in-law quarreling over her. Your mother doesn't like it. Qin Yanjun pulled Qin's mother back to the house. You are so old, why do you act like a child? Who asked you to send Sisi as a gift, but you didn't send it to me? Qin Yanjun, Sisi Wangfu. I'm not trying to please you, am I? Can I ask someone to buy it for you when I get my salary next month? Ying Sisi listened to the conversation between the two with her ears raised, and after confirming that Qin Yanjun really bought the car for her, she happily rode out. Qin Yanxi was waiting for her to go home impatiently. Where did you go all afternoon? I'm back to the courtyard. I made wontons there and waited for you to come over. Ying Sisi pulled him downstairs, and her little bicycle was surrounded by neighbors who were off work. She stepped forward and said, "Hello, Aunt, this is my car. Where did you buy it? It's so exquisite. Dad gave it to me. It is said that I asked someone to buy it from outside." Qin Yan didn't believe his words, and he wasn't planning to get married, so why did Lao Qin spend the money? It must have been given by Shen Yushan. I was worried that Sisi would not accept it, so I sent it in the name of Lao Qin. Old Qin is too generous. If I had known that he was looking for a partner for the banquet, I would have given my daughter in marriage. Look at this man's father-in-law, who can compare to him? You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Flash marriage of the era. Married to a crazy husband who amazes everyone. Author, Yuan. Chapter 216. Ying Sisi said as if she got a big deal, where have you been? Ying Sisi returned to the courtyard again, and Qin's mother had been coaxed. Smiling in response to SISI again, SISI, the banquet has been served, and it has been served for you. Yet Qin Yan's speech was neither cold nor indifferent. Should thank Sisi. Qin's mother said, today's wontons are well made, moderately salty and much better than mine. Sisi, I thought you don't have a job anyway, so why not cook at home? I'll give you 5 yuan every month, 10 yuan salary. This way you can save some money. Qin Yansi, you are so good at your calculations. You justifiably let Sisi work for you. Do you know that your 50 yuan is very cheap? If his wife wants to make money, how many 50 yuan can't be earned? Arrive. I also want you and your wife to save some money. No need, don't mention this matter again in the future, annoying. Mother of Qin, ... Aunt Gao next to her was staring closely at the family of 4 at the dinner table. Afraid of being mentioned by Ying Sisi. I finally got through the meal and went into the kitchen while Sisi was washing the dishes after the meal. Sisi, I won't say anything wrong about you next time. Please don't take it to heart. Thank you this time. Ying Sisi said coldly, don't be in a hurry to thank me. Don't tell your elders. I just think it's not appropriate to say it today. Aunt Gao's face turned pale. Ying Sisi suddenly heard Qin's mother's voice, and she had some concerns in her heart. She changed her attitude and said, it's not impossible if you want me to forgive you. Aunt Gao seized the opportunity to express her loyalty, you tell me, I will correct it and I will promise not to do it again next time. Ying Sisi played the trick, listen to Ci, you have been in this family for many years. Do you know who spread the news about Ci's mental illness? It is impossible for the parents-in-law to say that Qin Jin is Qin Yansi's biological brother. Even if Lu Yuechun provoked him, he would not casually tell others, my brother is mentally ill, right? Then it's just Lu Yuechun. Lu Yuechun has always been hypocritical. If she went out and said that her brother-in-law was mentally ill, how would others view her? Then there is only one possibility. Means those who work at home. And Aunt Gao said bad things about Lu Yuechun, so it could only be Aunt Gao who said bad things about Qin Yansi. This kind of person is equivalent to Lu Yuechun's spy at home, and it is easy to teach bad children. She wanted the other party to be driven away today. Aunt Gao was confused by Ying Sisi's question, and subconsciously retorted, how do I know this? As soon as I came here, I heard that he had a brain problem, and it was said that it was diagnosed by a doctor. Ying Sisi was waiting for her words. I saw Qin's mother standing at the door with a stern face, who said that? Aunt Gao was flustered and said, I heard what my neighbor said. Which neighbor said that? I asked her to come over and talk about it in person. Qin's mother's eyes were cold. She had nothing to say about the rumors. After all, she used to be a bit nervous and had a good temper. When the time comes, say hello to everyone you meet. Hit anyone who changes his face. They took him to see many doctors, and finally it was determined that it was a mental problem. But the only people who know about it are their own family members. I don't know how to say the banquet speech myself. She didn't talk to Lao Qin, but Qin Jin and Yuechun? Yes, Aunt Gao hesitated for a long time, not daring to say who it was. Mother of Qin found Qin Yanjun, and the two discussed it and decided to fire Aunt Gao. When Aunt Gao heard this, she summoned Lu Yuechun, including the fact that the other party asked her about the situation at home yesterday. Qin Yanjun asked Qin Jin, what do you think? Please vote woohoo. There have been fewer recommendations recently, and there are not many votes. Flash marriage of the era. Married to a crazy husband who amazes everyone. Author, Yuan. Chapter 217. It's not like Yuechun. Qin Jin still trusts Lu Yuechun and thinks that the other party cannot do such a thing. People say she was the one who instigated it, but you still don't think so. You pick her back immediately and we confront each other face to face, Qin Yanjun ordered. Qin Jin hesitated for a moment and left. Facing everyone's scrutiny alone, Aunt Gao felt on pins and needles and felt extremely regretful. The second daughter-in-law is so amazing. I only said a few bad words about her, and she became the target of public criticism. If you lose this job, where will you find something to do in the future? Master, I didn't do these things on purpose, can you still keep me here? Qin Yanjun, you didn't do it on purpose, you did it on purpose. You knew clearly that our banquet speech was in a very spirited manner, yet you still went out and said nonsense to confirm other people's suspicions about him. How much benefit did you get from someone with the surname Liu? No, I didn't take it. You don't get any benefits, so you work for others for free? Who believes it? Qin Yanjun looked cold and snorted. Aunt Gao still wants to quibble. Qin Yan said, you guys take your time here, my wife and I are going home. He pulled Ying Sisi and started to leave. Ying Sisi was not satisfied with watching it, and she wanted to add more fire to Aunt Gao's incident during the day, but she knew that it was right to leave now. When Lu Yuechun is brought back later, when Qin Yanjun is punishing him, he will definitely ask Qin Yanxi for his opinion. Lu Yuechun is not a light-hearted person, she will definitely make trouble with her children. Once it comes to the mother and child, won't the parents-in-law be soft-hearted? If Qin Yanxi refuses to forgive, how can he not be angry when the 4 children grow up and know that their mother was driven away because of their uncle? Qin Yanjun obviously thought about this. Why don't you wait until your sister-in-law comes back to ask clearly? Qin Yanxi, I believe you will give me justice. Qin Yanjun, brat. You deliberately created problems for him. The night is quiet. Occasionally 1 or 2 people pass by on the road. Originally I suspected that Lu Yuechun was spreading rumors, but I never had any evidence. I didn't expect that someone would finally admit it today. Qin Yanxi looked at Ying Sisi with deep eyes. He didn't see it clearly at first, but now he thought about it carefully. There were several times when he was about to break up with them. It was because of her that he thought of a way to fight back against them. She clearly meant to remind. You can finally breathe out your bad breath. Well, are you going back to your hometown tomorrow? Qin Yanxi decided to take advantage of the teacher's time to spend time with her. The new house hasn't been decorated yet. I'm here to help. Ying Sisi, it won't delay your study. Without delay. In the next 2 days, Ying Sisi and Qin Yanxi went out early and came back late every day to devote themselves to the decoration of the house. The 2 of them worked together to repaint the wall and repair the damaged cement floor. Go home this evening. Qin Yanjun blocked the door. Where did you 2 go? I didn't see anyone when I came here yesterday. We went out to play. Qin Yan said, did you make a special trip to report the punishment to my sister-in-law? Report? I'll give you a report. Qin Yan glanced at him. As for your sister-in-law, her parents came to her house that day to guarantee that she would never do something stupid again in the future. I asked her to come to you to apologize and write a self-criticism. You guys will be waiting at home tomorrow morning. She came to me to apologize and made me wait? Is this the attitude of apologizing? If she sincerely repented, I would take her daughter-in-law out now tomorrow. Qin Yanjun was speechless and had nothing to say. Ying Sisi said, Dad, what punishment do you have for Aunt Gao? Kick him away. How can you keep such a person? Flash marriage of the era. Married to a crazy husband who amazes everyone. Author, Yuan. Chapter 218. Ying Sisi was very satisfied and it saved her a lot of trouble. Qin Yanjun went home and told Lu Yuechun. Lu Yuechun and Qin Jing came to the door in person with gifts. The former no longer had the condescending attitude of the past. She had already learned from her mother-in-law that Ying Sisi was a girl from the Shen family. I didn't expect that. I had been planning for so long, but in the end I caught nothing and even lost 2 cousins. Now their family is asking her to pay compensation of 5,000 yuan. How about letting this matter out? Her monthly salary is only 70 yuan, and it will take 6 years without food or water. How can I afford it? And if you give it this time, there's no guarantee they won't ask for it again. What's more, it's their own incompetence that brings them down. As a result, the neighbors now know that she encouraged her maternal cousin to ruin the reputation of her husband's sister-in-law. As soon as you go out, people will comment on you. At banquet, Sisi, I don't know why I did such a thing in such a crazy way, I'm sorry for you. Lu Yuechun covered her face and cried. Yang Sisi and Qin Yanxi fell silent at the same time. Lu Yuechun held back her tears and said, I will definitely make corrections in the future. Qin Jin also said good things for Lu Yuechun, sisi, at the banquet, your sister-in-law did it for me, and I can't help you. Yang Sisi rolled her eyes. Does your brother deserve to be wronged for your sake? Qin Yanxi was silent for a long time. Please give me some compensation. Qin Jin, what compensation do you want? I want to buy something big recently, but I'm short on money. Please give me 300, Qin Yanxi said. Yang Sisi was shocked. Could this count as money? It doesn't require money, and it seems that there are no other benefits. Siblings cannot force the elder brother to divorce. Qin Jin felt quite embarrassed. There were so many children to support at home. Although his parents helped him, he only took the bulk of the money. He added some daily necessities every month, but there wasn't much left. They couldn't save 300 a year. He thought about it and agreed, okay, who said he was in the wrong? Qin Yanxi, when will you give it? I don't have that much with me. I'll pick it up at the post office tomorrow and deliver it to you in the evening, Qin Jin said. Okay, I'll still have to make a fuss if it's overdue. Qin Jin, hey, I can't break my promise to anyone, and I can't break my promise to you. Qin Yan said nothing. Qin Jin was embarrassed. It's getting late, so we won't disturb you. Qin Yanxi, go slowly and don't see him off. After the couple left, Yang Sisi closed the door. ACI, what big thing do you want to buy? I don't have enough money saved, so I can give it to you. Isn't it free to decorate? Yang Sisi smiled and said, it's because of me. What do you want to thank me for? Make me some clothes when you have time. Yang Sisi, I'm not very good at making men's clothes. Can pajamas be okay? She was worried that if she didn't look good, she would be laughed at if he wore them. Qin Yanxi emphasized, make 2 outfits for me and wear them differently. If that person showed up and made this request, she would definitely not be happy to do it again. Okay, Yang Sisi went back to the room to find a soft ruler to measure his body and waist. As the two of them got closer, the atmosphere became increasingly ambiguous. Yang Sisi quickly stepped away. I'm having my period today, it's not very convenient. Qin Yanxi was irritable. He had just come last month, so why would he come again this month? How can I not come? Pregnant. Qin Yanxi, it would be nice to be able to adjust the time. The first month of the lunar calendar comes. No matter how beastly that person is, there is no way he could touch her at this time. The next day, Yang Sisi went to the street to buy fabrics. From the department store to the black market, and then to the tailor shop, she traveled across half of the city. After searching for a long time, she finally selected a fabric that she was satisfied with. It was a satin-like material that was comfortable and breathable against the skin. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Flash marriage of the era. Married to a crazy husband who amazes everyone. Author, Yuan. Chapter 219. How much? This is made of silk. It costs 6 yuan per meter. Yang Sisi could accept it and asked for 6 meters. Bought another 6 meters of ordinary cotton fabric, paid for it and rode home. When I went upstairs to my floor, I saw Qin Jin and Lu Yuechun at the door. Qin Jin said, "I have been knocking on the door for a long time and am about to leave. Aren't you at home for the banquet?" "Well, I went out early in the morning with a book in my hands." Ying Sisi would not say that. Qin Yan quit her job to do the finishing work before the furniture was put into the new house. She opened the door and let the two of them into the house. Qin Jin took out the envelope from his briefcase. "Here are 300, do you want to count?" "I can't trust you anymore, just leave it there." Ying Sisi poured water for the two of them. Lu Yuechun was sore with the loss of $300 that she couldn't think of drinking water. Her eyes fell on Ying Sisi's car key hanging on the back of the door. "Has the lock on your car been changed?" Qin Jin quickly interrupted. "Mom made a scene at home because her father gave Sisi a car. If Yuechun knew about it, she would definitely complain again. We have something to do, let's go first." Ying Sisi sent the two of them out. When I returned, I immediately opened the envelope and counted the money. Fortunately, every penny was a lot. The eldest brother of the Qin family can spend 300 at a time. There are still so many children to raise at home. Although he has the help of his parents-in-law, he has no strength. How can he have so many children? With such a high income at such a young age, Lu Yuechun was still not satisfied. The human heart is not as good as a snake swallowing an elephant. She stuffed the money back into the envelope, put it on the bedside table in the bedroom, and continued to make clothes for Qin Yancy. When the pieces were cut and ready to be sewn on the sewing machine, Qin Yancy came back from outside. "The wires have been threaded and the door has been replaced. After 2 days the smell inside has dissipated, and then the furniture can be arranged inside. Thank you for your hard work. Are you thirsty?" Ying Sisi put down what she was doing and poured tea for him. Qin Yancy enjoyed her care and attention. While waiting for tea, he approached her workbench and touched the material. "Silk fabric, how much does it cost?" 6 meters, 36. I knew I should have bought 5 meters. Now I have just over 1 meter left. It's not enough for anything. It would be a pity to throw it away. Qin Yancy picked up the remaining fabric, which was just big enough to cover half of her body. "It can be made into a skirt. Then it must not be exposed to the top of the thigh." Qin Yancy smiled ambiguously. "Isn't this good?" Ying Sisi suddenly understood and cursed secretly. "You are a hooligan." She glared at him and changed the subject. "Brother's money is here." "Qin Yancy, just keep it." The two chatted for a while, and Ying Sisi continued to make clothes. She spent one night sewing them, and the next day she used the remaining fabric to make a skirt for herself. "Try it lightly with your upper body. I just feel like I can't wear it out." Because there was not enough fabric, she replaced the shoulders with straps, exposing a large area of skin below the collarbone. The skirt was too short to cover her thighs, and it was too embarrassed to be used as pajamas. She put the clothes in the back of the closet, briefly cleaned up the scraps that fell on the ground, and then went out on her bike to a furniture store, where she asked someone to deliver the furniture tomorrow. After she finished her work, she went to the black market. As soon as we got there, we were blocked by a man. "What's your name, where do you live?" Ying Sisi saw the other party's armband with the word duty on his sleeve and knew it was from the patrol team. "If you walk too much at night, you will encounter ghosts." She was worried about implicating Qin Yanjun, so after giving her name, she gave the address of her new home. "You live on the east side of the city, and you ride this bike? It can't be stolen, right?" The staff member of the patrol team put his chin in his hand and looked up and down at Ying Sisi. "She is well dressed and well used, but she lives in a tube building and sells meat. Come with me." Ying Sisi's heart skipped a beat. "I'm not a thief. Why should I follow you if I didn't buy anything when I came here?" "You're still talking back. Flash marriage of the era." Married to a crazy husband who amazes everyone. Author, Yuan. Chapter 220. Yang Cixi didn't dare to be stubborn anymore. The other person pushed her cart forward, and she followed him obediently. The more I think about it, the more something is wrong. Many people told her that as long as she didn't get caught shopping, she would receive a few criticisms at most. She had just walked in, so shouldn't he kick her out? Why take her away? She did not break the law. She decided to resist. Punched him on the back of the neck, took back his car and ran away. The man was stunned for a long time before he realized that he had been beaten by the woman. She covered the back of her neck and chased her. After running a few steps, I fell and sprained my foot. The pain was relieved by ouch. I just got up from the ground and my sight was blocked by someone. As soon as he raised his eyes, he saw the other person's appearance clearly and immediately contacted the girl just now. You are. What do you mean by tricking my daughter into following you? Are you trying to take advantage of her? Shen Yuxian followed Yang Cixi whenever he had free time recently, watching her walk in and out. Her favorite place is the black market. Even if you don't buy anything, you will still shop from beginning to end. Encountered a vendor who stopped her from selling her products. Whenever the other person wears something that is not enough, she will stop and listen carefully to what others have to say, and she will buy as much as she can. His daughter is so good that it makes people feel sad. But there are always evil people around her who want to try against her. The man was intimidated by Shen Yuxian's aura and said awkwardly, how is that possible? She said she lives in Tongzi building, but the clothes she wears are not ordinary. I suspect her of stealing. What's the evidence? Yes, investigating. Really? Go back and tell your captain, Shen Yuxian from the investigation team, invite him to tea, Shen Yuxian said and left. The staff on duty were sweating. So the girl just now is the daughter of someone from the investigation team. Why does he not believe it so much? Yang Cixi here came home. Her mood was still not calmed down. She opened the door of the guest room and told Qin Yanxi what happened just now. You don't need to have a backstage. If others don't stare at you, who will they stare at? I'm worried about involving Dad. It's not a trivial matter, Qin Yanxi said. Yang Cixi said, I'm also afraid that Dad will criticize me. What are you afraid of? I'm here and I'll fight with him. Yang Cixi's nervous mood was relieved. I'll be more careful next time. Qin Yanxi imparted experience. Generally, if there is no one at the door, don't go in. I just listen, the yard is very lively. How far can you hear? If I talk in my sleep, can you hear me clearly? Qin Yanxi's back felt cold. If one day she accidentally revealed that there were two people with her, she would not be so scared that she ran away all night. Bar. They are all talking in sleep. I must be sleeping too. How can I hear you? Normally, during the day, we go downstairs. It is quiet at night, and you can hear a little bit on the first floor. Because of my good hearing, Grandpa likes to take care of me when he is there. Let me hunt and go into the woods to better utilize my talents. Yang Cixi began to miss the days with her grandparents again. He and Qin Yanxi talked endlessly about things in the countryside. Qin Yanxi listened quietly and finally said, if I had known I wanted to marry you, I should have gone to your village. Yang Cixi was amused. Grandma said that love is about meeting the right person at the right time. If you go to our village, maybe we won't deal with it. My popularity and reputation in the village are not very good, because I steal. Many people are jealous of the money they make from selling mountain products. Fortunately, the head of our village never cares about me. When others come to complain to him, he always turns a blind eye. Later I figured it out, maybe because I was an orphan, he was extra tolerant. Happy New Year, fairies.